Hello and welcome to this Yoga for Basketball Players practice. This is the second practice that I've done, so I will also link the first one that I did down below if you'd like another option for your practice. So we're going to be working a lot on our balance today and also working deeply into the hips as well. We're going to start in a comfortable seated position. So if you can sit in a kneeling position, great, it's going to help stretch out through your ankles and your quads. But if it doesn't feel appropriate, you can sit some other way, as long as you are sitting nice and tall and you're elongating the spine. Let's just take a couple of big breaths together before we get moving. So relax your hands on your thighs or on your knees, shoulders down and away from the ears. Close your eyes. Let's take a nice big breath in through the nose. See if you can send it down towards the belly. And sighing it out through the mouth. Softening the jaw and the shoulders. Two more, breathing in, down to the belly. Feel your belly stretch, your diaphragm, that main breathing muscle, stretch. And sigh it out. One more, breathing in deeply through the nose. And slowly sigh out. Lovely. Closing the mouth and just breathe in and out of your nose at a natural pace. Allowing yourself this opportunity of stillness in your day, in your training, just to notice how you feel. And see if we can really tap into that and listen to our body throughout this practice. Really nice. Blinking the eyes open. Let's find an all fours position. So walking the hands out in front. Spread those fingers nice and wide. We're going to do a little bit for our wrists and our forearms here. So let's begin to roll out here. So making some circles over the hands. So just be really mindful, like if you have got sensitive wrists at the moment or you are working with any injuries, just make the circles smaller and maybe don't place so much weight into the hand. You can like place a little bit more weight into the knees maybe. But as you do this, see how you stretch through the palm of your hands and like down through the fingers. Lovely. Let's circle the opposite way. Maybe they get bigger, maybe they don't. You might find that your hips start to get involved. You can like push them out to the side. Maybe that feels good for some of us. Very nice. Good. Then coming back to a neutral place, let's turn our fingertips towards the outside edges of our mat, like so. And then just begin to move from side to side. Imagine your shoulder blades like slipping and sliding over the back of your ribs. Very nice. Good. And then come to a neutral place. Now this one might be quite a lot for some of us, particularly if you're tight through the forearm. So be kind to yourself. You're going to come onto the tops of your hands, fingers pointing inwards. Spread the fingers nice and wide if you can. Now the tendency is to kind of come into like this gorilla kind of arm movement. That's okay, but just see if you can straighten up the arms. And maybe you don't, and that's okay. Just go to a place where you feel that stretch through the forearm and the top of the hand. Maybe some of us want to move from side to side, but it'll be way, way, way more subtle. Lovely. Notice if you've got any tension gathering up in the face and the jaw. So if you start to pull like funny faces, you've maybe gone a bit too far and come back. Lovely, really, really nice. Good. Let's turn the fingertips back towards the knees. So the thumbs are pointing out like so. And then shifting the weight back. So maybe you can get your sitting bones to your heels. See if you can keep the heels of your hands down. If they begin to lift like this, you kind of start to lose the stretch. So just go as far as feels appropriate. I know it's a lot for the hands, but they really will thank you for it. They don't often get much of a stretch. We're also focused on like the main part of our body that we forget our hands and feet sometimes. Lovely. Good. Releasing from that. Give your hands a little bit of a shake out here, maybe a little roll out of the wrist. They should feel kind of loose, a little bit warm. Good to get some circulation there. Good. Come back to all fours, spread the fingers wide, and you're going to step your feet back to a plank position, pushing back through the heels. Now, I'm sure you all know how to do a really good plank, but let's just check in. You want your shoulders right over your wrists, pushing the shoulder blades up to the sky, and then the legs are straight, pushing back through the heels. Good. Step your feet hip width apart if they aren't already. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, but then send your sitting bones back and up. This is your downward facing dog. So to find your good downward facing dog, you want to find a good plank first. That's always quite a nice kind of rule of thumb. And then just take a little pedal through the feet here. Let the head be heavy. Relax through the jaw. You're taking a big yawn for the back of your legs. Wonderful. Good. From here, inhale, you're going to float your right leg up high, nice and slow, with control. As you exhale, you're going to step that right foot in between your hands. So if you've got particularly long legs and you need a hand to get it there, go for it, that's totally fine. Let's bring the hands either side of the foot and then just begin to move forwards and back here. Kind of like a runner's start position. Perfect. Once you are here, let's drop the back knee, untuck the toe, and then reaching the hands high. As you exhale, can you soften into your left hip flexor, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears? Really, really nice. So you feel that stretch through the front of your left hip. Really press down through the base of this big toe. It will help you with balance. If you're wobbling already, really press down there. Good. Hands together at heart center. Breathe in, lift up through the chest. And then as you exhale, draw your navel in and you're going to twist to the right. You're going to hook your elbow on the outside of your right knee. Roll that top shoulder away. It's going to want to like hoik up here. See if you can bring it away. Give your neck a little bit of space. And then engage through your core. So just notice if you're like really just using the elbow to knee to like push you round. But can you switch on that core to control that twist even more and ring out through your thoracic spine, so that middle spine. Really nice, everyone. Let's tuck our back toes. Keep that core on. You're going to lift that back knee, finding the balance here. Strong through the legs, strong through your center. So if you're a bit wobbly, don't worry, it's all a part of the practice. Good. As you inhale, you're going to unwind and come to face forwards, keeping the legs exactly how they are. Nice. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. We're coming into a warrior three. So begin to shift the weight forwards into that front leg and then see if you can float your back leg off with as much control as possible. So this is your warrior three. Keep your back leg engaged. If it's all bent and floppy, it's really, really hard to balance and you're making it harder for yourself. So either point the toe or flex the foot. Be one or the other, make a decision. Nice. With control, we're going to bring that left knee slowly, slowly in towards the chest, nice and slow, so you get strong through the whole balance. Good. Bringing that knee in towards the chest. We're going to find a tree pose here, so your classic yogi pose. You're going to bring this left foot somewhere down this inner leg, so avoid pressing into your knee. So maybe some of us will be on our calf, like so. Maybe some of us can get that foot all the way up onto our thigh. So you don't want to press into the knee, you don't really want to press into that joint. With your standing leg, make it really strong. So just notice if you're just like, yeah, chilling, like hips slope into the side, my back's going to be doing all sorts of crazy things. See if you can really strengthen through your core, strengthen through your hips to find a nice straight plumb line down the center of you. Lovely. Don't worry if you're wobbling, it's all good. Maybe your hands reach out to the sides, maybe not. So focus what's happening in your standing leg and that standing foot. All those little tiny micro adjustments that your body does that you don't even need to think about. Really nice. We're coming back the way we came. So hands together at heart center, press to your middle line. And then you're going to slowly bring that Left knee in towards the chest and send it all the way back into your warrior three. So nice and slow. Bending into your standing leg. Silently drop those left toes behind you. Lovely. We've lost some light, but let's not worry. Inhale, reach the hands up. And as you exhale, hands down to the mat, step it back to your downward facing dog. Okay, so let's do it all again on the opposite side. So inhale, left leg lifts, nice and slow and controlled, but not flinging our body anywhere. And then as you exhale, you're going to step that left foot in between the hands. Good. From here, let's take a little rock forwards and back, noticing how that feels. Very nice. And then dropping the back knee, untuck the toe, come to low lunge. So reaching the hands high. And as you exhale, soften into that hip. So just be mindful if it doesn't feel so nice on your lower back. If you need to pad up the back knee with like a pillow or something, you totally can. But I really want you to focus on making space here, loosening off this muscle. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in. Hands together at heart center. And then we're going to twist to the left this time. So drawing the belly in. Twist, twist, twist. So use the elbow against the knee to like push you a little bit, but then make sure that you are engaging through the core. So wringing out that spine. Good. Left shoulder away from the ear if you can. Pressing those palms together. Nice. So zip up through your belly. This is where you really need that core. Tuck the back toes. And then lift that back knee. Make sure the leg is strong. So if it's all kind of bent and floppy, again, it's harder. You want to do things with purpose and with control. Lovely. Let's face forward. So nice and slow. Draw the belly in. Unwind. Keep the legs as they are. Very nice. Warrior three pose. So leaning forwards, taking flight, lifting off into that balance. Whoops. So either pointing the foot or flexing the foot. And you want to make it so that your body is almost like a table. So your foot is in line with your shoulders. But don't worry if not. Just focus on the balance if that feels too inaccessible today. Now steady your breathing. In and out of the nose, remember. And then nice and slow, let's bring that right knee in towards the chest. With control, without touching the floor, finding your tree pose. So maybe tree is on the calf, maybe it's on our inner thigh. Careful of those hips swaying to one side, so if you can zip it up, and maybe the arms float out and up. I always find it quite helpful to like fix your focus onto something that's not moving. So maybe there's something on the floor that you can rest your eyes onto. Maybe there's something on the wall in front of you, in your eye line. And speak kindly to yourself if you are wobbling and struggling with this pose. It's totally okay. Like I say, it's part of the practice. No one is perfect first time around. We're losing light like nobody's business today. I think my lights are overheating, but that's okay. We shall persevere. Good. Let's bring hands together at heart center. And then we're going to come back the way we came as we did before. So nice and slow. Let's bring the right knee in towards the chest. Send it all the way back with control. The slower the better. There's absolutely no race. Speed is not your friend in a yoga practice. Slow and steady. You're going to feel those benefits. Good. Nice and slow. Let's bend into the standing leg. Drop those toes behind you. Very nice. Inhale, sweep the arms up. A big stretch. Good. As you exhale, hands down. Step it back to a downward facing dog. Awesome. In your downward facing dog, let's begin to walk the feet towards the hands. And when you get to your hands, take your feet about hip width apart. Soften your knees so you really like take it out of your hamstrings. And just allow the spine to decompress. So maybe the head is really heavy and you give it a little nod. Awesome. Spread your toes so you've got a nice strong base. And then interlace your fingers behind your back, squeeze your palms together, and just let the fist fall overhead. So almost like let gravity pull your fist way, way, way over your head. So you open out through the chest, the shoulders. The key is to let the head go though. Your head's a really heavy weight that's going to help decompress your spine. Nice. Releasing the hands down now. Soften the knees and then slowly, slowly roll up through the spine. Bringing yourself up to standing. Perfect. Let's take a nice wide, long stance on our mat. So ideally wrists over ankles, so depending on how long your arms and legs are, albeit kind of different lengths, that's okay. Good, and then turn your right toes out to the right. Good, from here, reach out of your hip as far as you can. Legs remain straight, reach out of the hip, and then your right hand comes down as your left arm comes up. So it's not about how low you go, we want length through the waist. And although this feels like a side stretch or something, we're actually getting quite deeply into the hips. So you might hear like a hip pop when you come down. And if you really want to make it a little bit more comfortable for yourself, you can always pop a block underneath your right hand for support. But I think you're probably strong enough to hold this. Good, let's take a nice big breath. Exhale, look down. Inhale to come on up, switch it over, so right foot in, left toes out, reach, reach, reach. Hear that little pop of my hip maybe? And then left hand down, right hand up. So length through both sides of the waist. So if you start kind of caving like this, you're not going to feel it as much. So straight legs, straight spine, open chest. Lean back. Imagine you're going to lean onto the wall behind you. And then you can look wherever you want, but see if you can just fix your focus onto one thing. So traditionally we look towards that top thumb, but if that doesn't suit your neck, look down. Lovely. Breathing in. Exhale, look down if you aren't already. Inhale to come on up. Turn your toes in. Perfect. Slightly nudge your big toes in, so there's a slight pigeon toe. Hands to the hips. Breathe in, lift up the chest. And then as you exhale, folding here, hands down to the floor. Bend your knees if you need to, or take your legs wider if that's more comfortable. And then just take a little movement through the hips. Let the head be heavy. Nice. Just kind of feeling into any tight spots or anything that needs your attention. Maybe shifting the weight forwards and back. Lovely. Good. As you inhale, come up halfway onto your fingertips. As you exhale, turn your one toes out to the side and then bend into that knee, reaching those toes up. Lovely, good. Feel that stretch through the groin. Let's do the opposite side. So walking the hands over, toes out. These toes come up. Lovely. To test our balance and to test our hip mobility, we're going to see if we can do that without using our hands. So you're going to come through center, bend into both knees, hands together at the heart, toes pointing out. Okay, option to use the hands at any point. If you feel like you need to, please do. Otherwise, engage through your core. Really focus on the movements. Lovely. Breathe in. Exhale, bending into that knee. See how low you can get. Toes are lifted. We're going to come over to the opposite side. Keep your bum as low as you can. With control. Opposite side. Very nice. Let's go back the other way a couple more times. So nice and slow. Good. And if you are really struggling with this, this is a really great one to practice. Let's go back the other side so we're nice and even. Toes are lifted. Very nice. And then you can bring your hands down. Straighten up both legs. Come into a lovely forward fold. Head is heavy. Good. Let's begin to heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. So wider than hip width with the toes pointing out. And then you're going to sit your sitting bones down in between your heels into your yogi squat. So nice proud chest. Hands can rest on the floor or hands to heart center, wherever you need to be. Let's take another little kind of opener and a balance here. If you are struggling with your yogi squat, your heels are lifted and things, I will link a yogi squat tutorial below. It might be your ankles, it might be your knees, it might be your hips that need work. Like, I'll link it down below and you'll have a further explanation there. Otherwise, as you inhale, let's reach our right hand up towards the sky, left hand down towards the floor. See if you can broaden across the chest. Good. Breathing in. Exhale, hands to heart. Opposite side. Left hand back, right hand down. Nice big, big breaths. Lovely. Hands together at heart center. And let's bring the hands down and take a little seat. If you need a little kind of leg shake after that, go for it. And then we're going to come down onto our back. So come on down. Bend your knees. And once you arrive, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. Keep the foot flexed. And then you're going to grab either the back of your left thigh, like so, or maybe your left shin. Now, if your head is lifting up like this, and we're kind of like giving ourselves an ab workout, just grab lower down. You want your head and shoulders nice and relaxed. And just think about your right knee moving forward. So it might not physically move forwards, but it's just the idea, so you feel that stretch through your right glute, right outer hip. And you want to remain like as relaxed as you possibly can. That's where we'll find more flexibility. And our muscles can relax and restore themselves a whole lot easier. So if you're doing this after a training session, see if you can like really chill it out and give yourself a break. And any of these stretches that you find really helpful, totally go back to them and like spend more time on them. Nice, let's release that leg, do the opposite side. So left ankle across. Maybe we grab the back of the thigh, maybe we grab the shin. And with stretching, you always want to, not always, but like you want to progress in it. You don't want to like pull yourself into your deepest stretch straight away. Like give yourself and your body time to recognize the stretch and soften into it. So you'll see with nice slow breaths, being really patient, you'll get deeper and deeper into the stretch and then into more flexibility. You can even close your eyes here. Focus on the sensation that's happening in the body. It's what yoga is really, really great for athletes. Gets us to really know and experience our body so we can use it in a way that benefits us in our sport. Lovely. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, release. Awesome. Let's hug both knees in towards the chest. Take the arms out into a cactus or a T shape, and then allow both knees to drop to one side. Just let them be really like heavy and lazy. Don't worry if they don't land in like a pretty way. Just let them kind of hang. Nice. As you inhale, bring the knees through the middle. Let them drop over to the opposite side. Legs are heavy, hands are heavy. Core is soft now. Nice. As you inhale, bring the legs through center. You can lie on your back, take a little kind of meditation or shavasana if you'd like. Just let the video end. Otherwise, come and find a comfortable seat with me. Let's take a couple of breaths together before we head back into the rest of our day. So closing the eyes. Inhale to sit tall and proud. Exhale to soften. Jaw, shoulders, hips. One more breath in, collectively together. And a big sigh. Really well done. Allowing the breath to come back to its natural speed. And then blinking the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing this yoga for basketball players with me. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it with your friends that you play basketball with, maybe your team or your colleagues. Tag me in any social media posts. I will link the Yoga for Basketball Players, the first video that I made, down below, the Yogi Squat video, and a playlist which is Yoga for Sport. So if you do like a whole host of sport, you can check out that playlist. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe.